Joining us here on Late Night Health is our friend Robert Clancy, the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul. And Robert has some thoughts about small moments in your life. Robert.
Well, it's great to be back, Mark. And one of the key things I find to happiness is having that positive mental attitude. So my thought of the week is, some people leave their homes and encounter thorns in the garden of their world, and it ruins their day. When I encounter those thorns, I'm thankful that among them, there are always roses to be found reaching for the precious light. And when you really think about it, looking up and keeping that attitude up allows you to find these small moments. And it could be just the smile on a child. It could be just the way, I don't know, the leaves rustle on the trees, anything that's going to just set you in a better mood. And running through life without seeing these is like running through a museum with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
So really keep an eye out for those.
I love looking at beautiful sunsets, and when I see them, I either take a picture if I can and show it to my wife or call her, because we both like to watch sunsets. We're not up early enough for sunrises, but sunsets we are, and we take great gratitude in being able to appreciate those. Robert, thank you very much. Go to latenighthealth.com and you'll be able to see more about Robert and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul. We'll talk to Robert again next week. More coming up here on Late Night Health. We go right now to Dr. Ross-Pelton, the natural pharmacist and author of 10 books. Ross, welcome to Late Night Health.
Hey, it's nice to be with you and your listeners. Happy holidays.
And happy holidays and a happy new year.
Coming up quick.
It is coming up very quick. In studio with us, of course, is your friend and mine, Dr. Hans Kugler. And we're going to be talking, I guess, about probiotics. And
anything relating to anti-aging. I've known Ross for a very, very long time, and what always impressed me, which I sometimes found lacking in medical doctors, a tremendous knowledge in chemistry and biochemistry. That's the most important part.
Well, Dr. Ross is a pharmacist. He was named as one of the top pharmacists, most influential pharmacists in the United States in 1999, and has written, as I said, 10 books, and is a certified clinical nutritionist, and on top of all that, is a psychologist. I don't know when you have time to sleep, Dr. Pelton.
Well, these days, my passion is the microbiome. Information emerging from the Human Microbiome Project is teaching us all that the bacteria in your gastrointestinal tract are one of the most critical aspects of health and wellness. And the exciting news that I have to share with your listeners today is that we have a new strain of probiotic bacteria called Lactobacillus fermentum ME3. We call it ME3 for short. But the remarkable thing about this new strain of probiotic bacteria is that it produces glutathione in humans. And glutathione is known as the master antioxidant and also the master detox agent in humans. So anything that will boost your glutathione levels is going to be absolutely critical in slowing down your free radical damage, which is going to slow down your aging process, and improving your detoxification, which will also improve your aging process. So this is a real significant breakthrough in health and medicine and science, to be able to have a probiotic bacteria that is producing glutathione in you 24/7.
I'm curious about something. A lot of people have glutathione injections or take it intravenously.
Well, that's because it's expensive.
It's expensive, and also it gets oxidized very quickly. So even though there are some reports of almost miraculous symptom improvement, especially in Parkinson's disease patients with intravenous glutathione, it only lasts for a couple of days, and then you have to be back in the doctor's office for another IV infusion, and it's both time and money-wise very inconvenient. But now when you take a dose of this new probiotic with 6 billion bacteria, it's like swallowing 6 billion little glutathione manufacturing plants every day. So this is a huge breakthrough to be able to boost glutathione levels on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's a very important part because, see, on the bottom line, what we just discussed in a segment here before, anti-aging is a combination of following all the correct anti-aging modalities, right? And within that, we have exercise, we have detoxing. That's where already glutathione comes in, right? We have nutrition, we have supplementation. With the supplementation, we have a very important area with the lactobacillus, right? There's actually several pounds of that in your digestive tract. That's very important for everything from vitamins, minerals, making nutrients, enzymes, and so on. It's one of the most important things ever, right? And I met, last week I said I was in Las Vegas at the big American Academy Anti-Aging Medicine meeting. And who do I see smiley faces? Ross, right?
So let me ask you both something, Ross and Hans. Does gut health, because that's what really we're talking about, isn't that where all health begins? I mean, cardiovascular, mental, nerve, everything.
Yeah, and imagine with some of the toxic chemicals that we're taking in and some of the pesticides and so on, these toxins upset the digestive tract. So that's why it's important to constantly feed in some healthy bacteria, right? The lactobacillus. Probiotics, right? And to maintain that balance. That is most important.
Ross,
one thing I want to tell your listeners is that the products that contain this new strain of bacteria, Lactobacillus fermentum ME3, are called Reg Active. That's spelled REG'(ACTIV). That's a brand name that comes out of Europe. It stands for Active Regeneration. And there are 3 different Reg Active products. They all contain Lactobacillus fermentum ME3. You can get them at good health food stores and vitamin shops around the country. And I'd like to offer make a free offer to your listeners. I have written an 8-page report on Lactobacillus fermentum ME3 and glutathione. And if any of your listeners would like a free copy of this report, they can email me at ross@naturalpharmacist.net. I'll be happy to send this report out to your listeners.
I'm going to get a copy of it. ross@naturalpharmacist.net, and you'll get a copy of the free 8-page report on ME3. Ross, in looking at probiotics, there are probiotics that are refrigerated, some are not. What should a person look for in taking a probiotic, and what are some of the other anti-aging reasons that people should take them?
Well, there's a wide range of quality in probiotics. You really get what you pay for. If you go to a mass market chain drugstore or supermarket and you pay $9.95 for 100 probiotic capsules, you're going to get exactly what you pay for. A cheap probiotic that's probably not very good.
And doesn't have anything live, maybe.
Correct. And a lot of probiotics do need to be refrigerated. This particular probiotic is stable at room temperature and is acid stable, so it survives transit through the harsh acid environment in the gut. So it's user-friendly. It does not need to be refrigerated.
Yeah, Ross. Yeah, here's also something very important. I think we are talking about very interesting areas here. But let's say if somebody listens in here, people, get yourself a pen and write these things down. Give us some other contact information, for example, websites or anything that people can check up on these things what we were saying.
You bet. Well, Lactobacillus fermentum ME3 products are marketed by a company where I am the scientific director. It's Essential Formulas, so they can go to essentialformulas.com, or they can go to my website, which is naturalpharmacist.net, and get information. And if they don't, and your listeners don't find the Reg Active products with Lactobacillus fermentum ME3 in their local health food store or vitamin shop, email me at ross@naturalpharmacist.net, and I will take care of things and get you set up.
Oh, that'll be great. Listen, I'm really curious because it's hard to determine, gentlemen, what to take. I was telling Ross earlier today, I take probiotics, and I was taking an inexpensive one, honestly, the last month. And I've noticed that my sleep apnea or my choking at night, I don't really have diagnosed sleep apnea. But if I lay down flat, I choke, I wake up swallowing, etc., etc. When I take a high-quality probiotic, it goes away, like 98%.
Because everything in your body is connected.
Right. And one thing I'm trying to educate people about is that glutathione is produced in every cell in your body. And because Lactobacillus fermentum ME3 produces glutathione, this particular product, although it is a probiotic, it goes far beyond the traditional concept of a probiotic, which is thought of in terms of gastrointestinal health. But because glutathione is critical for the detoxification and antioxidant protection in every cell in your body, these products with Lactobacillus fermentum ME3 producing glutathione are a whole new ballgame. This is really a revolution in health and medicine to be able to boost your glutathione levels on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, earlier we used to do, we still do, take NAC, like
sure,
N-acetylcysteine, right?
Yep, it's a precursor, you bet. N-acetylcysteine is good, but it's not nearly as effective as taking a daily dose of the Reg-active products and getting 6 billion bacteria that are producing glutathione 24/7.
And what about some of the bottles of probiotics that say 50 billion?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. There's really an interesting conversation going on in the scientific community about what's better, millions or billions. And people come up to me and say, well, your probiotics only got 6 billion, but mine's got 40 or 50 billion. You really find out that when you take in such a huge quantity of probiotics of one or two strains, it puts things out of balance in your gastrointestinal system, and your immune system can go into an alarm reaction saying, we can tolerate a few of these guys, but 50 billion is way more than we can tolerate. And so I kind of draw the analogy of this situation with immigrants. Our country can handle some immigrants, but if we got flooded with billions of immigrants, it would shut everything down.
And now you're talking my language. I just had a very famous visitor from Germany, Heidelberg and Tübingen University, about all these different people that are coming from everywhere in the world and messing things up. It's just unbelievable. But let's get back to basics here.
So we now find that multi-strain probiotics in some cases are better than single strain. But with Lactobacillus fermentum ME3 producing glutathione, this should be thought of as a different category than just your regular probiotic.
Well, then what we're going to talk about then is, should we add this to our regimen and include other probiotics? That'll be coming up. Our guest is Dr. Ross-Pelton, and we are talking about Lactobacillus fermentum ME3. I think I did that halfway okay.
Yes.
Join us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com. I'm Mark-Alyn, and during hour 2, we're going to talk about a woman who's overcome a lot of despair and has turned to a greater power. We'll be doing that during hour 2 here on Late Night Health. Don't go away, more coming up.
Late Night Health with Mark-Alyn will return in a moment.